just because I know in Vietnam, they're saying if we would have shot more or destroyed more of the height finders and range finders and some of the AC radars associated with some of these threats, we could have saved a few more pilots. Did you guys go out there deliberately targeting some of those radars as well? Or would you guys kind of save the harms for the TTRs? Or was it a little bit of mix of both depending on what mission you were doing?
Those last 3 kills, 2 of them were height finders, because they had 1 SA2 and then they had 3 SA6s. They're north of the 36th in the northern AOR for the no-fly zone in 93. So by all means, and in fact, in Desert Storm, if you could find one of those on, it was fair game. It's kind of like in World War II, and the guy said, I shot down 2, Messerschmitts today, but then there was a twin-engine Betty flying through the air, and it had a big old German swastika, and I shot it down too. So same thing with radars. If it's in Iraq or in your AOR and it's emitting, well, it's trying to supply information in some way, shape, or form. And if that, whether it goes back to the SOC or right directly wired to the nearest SAM system, every time you can take another eye out, take it out. Air superiority, what your Weasel mission does today is air superiority. We're not fluent doing the air-to-air squadron. We talked about, we're going to provide air superiority. But I've thought about that term since that first tour. And today, a lot of enemies don't have an Air Force. It is very, very expensive to have an Air Force with fighters. So for the United States to have the fighters it has, that's an expensive endeavor. And you look at nations out there like Iran, Syria, Russia, they have gotten smaller and smaller. North Korea, smaller on an Air Force and more on the SAM system. The SA-300, 400, I said for Iraq, if we ever had to go back, all he needed was 5 SA-300s to have air superiority against us. So now your problem is he can see you, and it's a harder problem for us to solve than it was with the 2s, 3s, 6s, and 8s. So now to get air superiority over that, you've got to take them out. If you look at what happened in Iran, and Israel went in there, they took out 1, and then they went back about a month later and took out the next 3, and they achieved air superiority. And they can roam those skies with immunity, do whatever they want. So that's the goal of SEED, is to give those strikers immunity from everything else to carry out that mission.